welcome to today's edition of Cracking the Cryptic on a roasting hot day here in the UK. It is absolutely boiling, and yeah, my attic room may have its window open, but it is still absolutely sweltering, and hopefully it won't addle my brain. Now, what have we got for you Sudoku-wise today? Well, we have something of a treat, I think. This is called Cross Total, and it's by a new constructor to the channel, Wuschel, or Wuschel. I don't know, I think it's Wuschel. I'm going to go with Wuschel. And this has been recommended to us as a very rare thing. This is meant to be an extremely approachable puzzle, but it's still got all the beauty that we hope to showcase on the channel. So you'll know that I've lamented a little bit over the last couple of months really, how brutally hard a lot of the puzzles are that we get sent. And that's fine. I'm all for brutal difficulty if it's supported by how clever the logic is. But the world of Sudoku seems to have moved in that direction and away from puzzles that are more straightforward, but still have that beauty quotient that you need. And apparently Wuschel has achieved the sort of holy grail here. This puzzle has, I think, a 98% approval rating on Logic Masters Germany, but just 2 stars out of 5 for difficulty. Now, that has tripped us up in the past. Sometimes we've come across 2-star puzzles that are sort of still very, very difficult, but I'm assured this one should be approachable to everybody. So I hope that that's true. And yeah, I'll read you the rules in just a second. They're pretty straightforward today. It's sort of a variant of Arrow Sudoku. And in fact, I don't have much news either. So just an appeal, if you enjoy the channel, do think about subscribing. We'd really appreciate it. Maybe consider becoming a patron. Over on Patreon, we have, it's a couple of bucks a month. We have so much extra content over there. It's unbelievable. And many, many thousands of you support us over there, for which we're extremely grateful. Thank you so much. As Maverick flies past, yes, in celebration of all of your generosity. Now, let's get on with Cross Total, and I'll read you the rules. Here we go. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits along an arrow must sum to the digit in that arrow's circle. Arrows without the circle are palindromes. They read the same forwards and backwards. So let's take these rules in steps. Firstly, we've got a sort of a normal arrow constraint, which tells us that what we do is we fill in the arrows. So let's say this arrow we filled in with 1, 2 and 3. Then to get the value of the circle, we simply sum these digits. So we put in a 6 here, not a 7, a 6. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. Now the other thing we're being told here though is that the arrows themselves are palindromic. So that means if we worked out this cell was a 2, we would immediately know that this cell was a 2, because we ignore the circle. And we've got to make sure that those 3 cells are a palindrome, which means they read the same forwards and backwards. So, I mean, we could fill in most digits in the middle here. So 2, 1, 2 would encourage us to put 5 into the circle. And if we worked out this was a 4, then we'd have to put a 4 up here. And then this would have to become a 9, and we couldn't have much flexibility about this middle digit. So that's how the rules work. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Okay, so the first thing I can see here is that all of these arrows are a little bit kinky today, because they all seem to bend away from their initial direction. And what that's doing is it's preventing me from writing useful digits into the circles. Imagine this arrow went straight down here. Then we would know that the minimum we could put in would be 3 different digits, and we would know that the circle had to be at least 6. But because of the kink, we could do something unpleasant like that, which means the maximum or the minimum value of the circle is actually 4. And I am not prepared to pencil mark that. So I don't think that is how we're meant to break into the puzzle. It might be that what we've got to do is sort of almost colour the grid, because obviously, but with all of these arrows, I think that they're, oh no, they're not. I was going to say they're all 3 cells long. They're not. This one is only 2 cells long. So what we probably might want to do is to colour. What I'm thinking is if we colour these arrows like this, because we know that these 2 digits are the same because of the palindromic properties that are in the instructions. Now this one's interesting because these 2 cells have to be the same, but look, this cell is shared with this arrow. So this is a 2-cell arrow. To be palindromic, both of the digits must be the same. So we get an extra green digit there. Let's keep going. We'll go yellow there. We'll go purple there. Now we run out of the good colours. We still haven't used orange. Okay, so this one I think is going to be relegated to greyness, but Sven's software still allows us to see the grey on grey background, so that's okay. So we reach this little position, and therefore what I'm seeing there is that the green, blue, purple and grey digits are all different because they end up in box 5. Ah, right. Okay, that's actually... Oh wow, yeah, I like this. Right, this is very clever. This is very clever. Wuschel, I like this. So, now, look at the structure of the arrow circles that I'm going to highlight here. Look at the structure of all of those arrows. They all kink in the same way. They're all 3 cells long with a kink. Now, what's the maximum value of the coloured digits on these arrows then? Well, if I was to put 5 into a colour, you'd obviously have to repeat the 5, and then the circle would be greater than 10. Or at least, well, it would be greater than 10 because I'd have to put a positive value into the middle cell. That will not work. So that tells us that these digits here, it's the same logic for each of them, can't be higher than 4. We could have 4, I think. We could have double 4 with a 1, making a 9. But look what that's done. That's put a quadruple into box 5. Ah, so I have been too profligate with my colouring here. Yes, because look, if we come back to the other arrows now, the ones I've not just pencil marked in, and look at their structure, it's the same structure. So that means that these cells also can't have a number greater than 4 into their coloured cells, but that means I've used too many colours, if you like, because I know that these 4 colours are the 4 versions of one. One of these digits is a 1, one is a 2, one is a 3, one is a 4, because they all end up in box 5, where they must all be different. So that means the red digit here has to actually correspond with one of these. Oh, it has to correspond with blue, green, purple or grey. Now I can see it's not grey, because look, grey lines up with red in this box in column 2, and I know it's not blue, so the real nature of red is either... Oh, it's not green, it's in the same row as green. Ah, there we go. So in fact what we've discovered is that red is purple, believe it or not. We might not have realised that before, but it's true, and that's because either this digit or this digit on this arrow they see the blue digit, they see the grey digit, and they see the green digit. So they're only left with the option of being the purple digit. So now the next job is going to be to try and get rid of yellow and orange and replace them with one of these colours. So let's try that with yellow. Well, yellow can't be purple or grey or green, just simply sees them all. So in fact yellow is blue, and orange sees... does it see grey? Yes, it does. Look, so this one, let's go back to putting orange in. This orange digit sees grey, so orange and grey are not the same, and this orange digit sees purple and blue, so it can't be those either, so it must be green. So there we go. We've now achieved a more unified theory of colour, and perhaps that will let us do some more sudoku, although I'm not actually seeing where. I was hoping that this might help us, because we've obviously got rather more colours. Okay. Not quite there. This circle is catching my eye. That circle we know is an even number, and we know that because it's summing two greens. So algebraically we could express the value of this circle as 2 times green, which means it's an even number. Now the weird thing about that is it could still be a 2, because what's to prevent that arrow just being double 1? The answer is I don't think very much, so perhaps we have to put in all the options there. Oh, there we go, I've just spotted one. Purple. Where does purple go in this box? Bump, bump, bump. We know that purple and green are different because they repeat in the box 5. So that means that's purple, which means that this arrow now, well, no, it actually doesn't restrict this very much, does it? Because now we just know that this arrow here has 3 relatively low digits on it. Okay, so maybe we can... There might be other opportunities though. If I stare at this for long enough, we might be able to do something with... No, I was wondering about... green. Yes, green in box 9 is here exactly. So there's a little deduction. Okay. Can I see anything else? It might be possible to put blue on that arrow, but I think blue's got 2 positions. I might have to resort to sort of pencil marking the colours in a moment, because I'm not seeing anything terribly clever here. Just give me a moment. Let me just think about this. The other thought I'm having as well, yes, okay, that's a good thought. Right, those 2 digits are important, I think. Because, look at the nature of these digits in terms of how big they are. Now, they see green, they see purple, they see blue, and they see grey. So they cannot be 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. So, these digits are at least 5. And to these digits, we're always adding the same number twice. So these can't be as high as 8, because even if we add the lowest number twice, we'd then be getting to a double-digit number. So these digits here, I think, are 5, 6, or 7, which means that these circles here are 7, 8, or 9, because 5 added with double 1 would be the minimum we can get, which is 7. Yeah, okay. But now, because this is at least 5, what's the maximum size of purple and blue? You can't add double 4 to 5. You can't even add double 3 to 5. So the most you can add to 5 is a double 2, which means this... there we go. So that means that blue and purple are a 1-2 pair, which means that green... Oh, this is massive now. So now we've got to run all this through the grid, because green has become a 3 or a 2, and this because we've learned that blue is a 1 or a 2 and purple is a 1 or a 2, we've now got we've got grey as 3 or 4, we've got green as 3 or 4, which pushes this up, because this is double green, so that's now 6 or 8. What a lovely... This is lovely, isn't it? It really is. Now, okay, let me just keep tidying this up and see if we can... Okay, so that looks like I've tidied up the pencil marking. Now I can see this circle has become restricted. It's at least a 7, because we're adding double 3 to 1 at a minimum. This one is at least a 7. We're adding double 3 to whatever this is. It would be lovely if we could force this not to be a 1 or a 2, say, but I don't see a way of... Oh, no, I know what you do. Right, this is 7, 8, or 9, because this is double 3. Let's think about the nature of this digit, though. This digit now has to be a low digit, because we've got at least 6 on the arrow so far, so the maximum this can be is a 3, which means it's a coloured digit. Now, it's not blue, Oh, look at this. Yeah, yeah. It's not blue, it's not grey, and it's not green. So in fact that is purple. And if it's purple, we know it's not 3. So it's a 1 or a 2. Don't know if this was... No, it can still be 2. Right. Now let's see if we can... Right, can we repeat... No. Ah, that's interesting. I was thinking, because of the sort of symmetry between these circles and these circles, I was going to be able to write in 5, 6 and 7 into here. I can't do that. This one is interesting. This grey digit and this green digit do see this cell. So this cell can't be 1, 2, 3 or 4 and has to be at least 5 and can't be greater than 7. So this is 5, 6 or 7, but very annoyingly this one doesn't see a grey. So that could be a grey digit, which means that this could be restricted to as little as 5. That one has to be high, so that's 7, 8 or 9. Oh, what about that digit? Yes, there's another one. So this circle is at least double 3 plus 1, so that's 7, 8 or 9, and this cell has to be low. That's got to be 1, 2 or 3. Now, can we colour it? It's not green, clearly. I want to say it can't be grey, because if it was grey, no, it can't be grey, because then these two digits would add up to 7, because they'd be a 3, 4 pair, and then I'd be adding at least 3 to that. So it's not grey. So this is a 1 or a 2, and therefore it's a blue, which I keep thinking we're going to suddenly get a flurry of either blue digits or green digits or purple digits, but Oh, okay, simple. Where does purple go in this box? It has to go here by sudoku because it can't overlap with this circle. Now, where does purple go? Here, it goes there, look. Again, it can't go here because of this digit. That places purple in box 2. Have we done all the purples? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we've done all the purples. We've not done all the blues. It keeps highlighting everything. Oh, yes. Where does blue go in this box? It has to hide in the corner. So that places blue, look, in box 4. Now we must have done all the blues nearly. Blue is in one of these two. Oh, I see. We're left with a little X-wing on blues in these cells. So the only arrow that I've not fully pencil marked now is this one, which is adding either double 1 or double 2 to this digit. Well, we know this is at least a 5, I suppose. Double 1 plus 3 is the minimum, so that maybe I have to pencil mark this to understand what's going on. Yeah, I don't like doing that. And the other place that feels restricted, green is in one of these. As this box feels congested, doesn't it? Can we... There must be a grey digit in this box. I want to say the grey has to be in one of these two cells. I think that's right. No, I can't quite do this. So... okay, here's a small point. Either blue or purple is a 2. Now whichever one of these is 2 is adding double 2 to at least 5, so one of those is a 9. Which means that's not a 9. Which means that's it. Right, there we go. So now green can't be 4, because if green is 4, this has no option, because it's not got the option of being 9 anymore. So green is 3, and that's our first digit. But green is now 3, and if green is 3, we know grey is 4. And if we know, and that forces that to be 9. Look, because we're adding double 4. Well, actually, it forces purple to be 1 as well. So purple, we can just fill in. Blue, it's going to go wrong with these. Hang on. If I double click blue and then unbluify those, I can put all the 2s in the grid. I can put 9 in here. And surely now there's something good going on. Well, this digit now is adding double 2 to at least a 4. So this square here is at least an 8. And it's got to be 4 or 5. Can't be any higher. So, oh look, double 3, I can do that maths. That's maths I can do. That's got to be a 6, so that's no longer a 6. We're adding, oh look, we're adding double 2 to something. So that must be 5, that must be 9. Get rid of the 9 here. This digit is not 5 anymore. So we're adding, oh, we can't add 7 to this because that would cause a 9 here. So this is a 6, that must be an 8. This is a 7, which we could have done by maths. These two digits are 4 and 7, so we can fill those in. That's no longer a 7. Oh, and in fact it is an 8 because we can just do maths on it. So this column maybe, we need 5, 6 and 9. Nearly, I'm going to pencil mark it, 5, 6, 9. There are worse things to do, I think. And what we shall do now, maybe these digits, 5, 6 and 8. Which means those digits are 4 and 9. There's a 4 here. That's lovely. So that's 4. That's 9. That gets greyified. 4. Oh, nearly interesting for this box. 9 is not really useful. What about those? 5 and 6? No, not useful either. So these have got to be 2, 7, 8. And we know this is not 2. So, but I feel like I've almost used all of the... Oh, I see. Look, I've got a 7 looking at this, so that might do some work. So if this is... This can't be 5 now, because that would cause a 7 in this. So this is 6, which means this is 8, which means this is 9, and therefore that's 5. And that's a whole load of new digits that we didn't know we were going to get. Look, 6 and 8 now looking at this, so that's 5. Now we still need 9 in this column and 3, so the 3 is placed. That's a 9. The 3 gets greenified. Now, how many 3s now have we got? Lots. Still not done them though, I don't think. Yeah, we've got a little X-wing of 3s left. 9 here, looks at the 5 over here, so that gets done. 9 here, places 9 in the last column, gets us a 6. These squares have got to be 2, 4 and 5. 2 can be, oh, not 2, 4 and 5, there is already a 2 in this box. 4, 5 and 7, Simon. Good grief, man. Okay, 4, 5 and 7, I don't think I can do that actually. Bobbins. Right, so we've still got to do some thinking. 6 is interesting in the middle box. It has to be vertical because of this 6, and that actually does some work in box 8. Now 5 must be horizontal, so we'll repeat that logic, and that puts 5 in exactly one place in box 4. Okay, that was nearly quite good. What about 1, 2, 3, 5? Oh, that's annoying. So this digit is going to end up here, so that's a 6. Oh, that's quite cute, actually. Let's actually look at that. Where does this digit go in box 4? And the answer is, because none of these cells can be 6 or 8, it must go here. And look, there's a 6 looking at it. So that's an 8, that's an 8, that's a 6 out of nowhere. Oh, we could have got that, I think, by looking at the top of the grid. But that was a nice way of seeing it. So 3, 4 and 7 up there. This isn't 3. Okay. Again, I have the feeling there's ways of doing it. Oh yeah, look, this is a naked single. That can't be 4 or 9, so it must be 7. And that fixes this as 4. Gives us a 3, 7 pair here. Places 9 in the row. Now 9 in the middle box is in one of 2 places. But... have I actually used every single arrow now? I think I have. So it should just be plain old Sudoku from here on in, I think. 4, 6 and 7 into these cells. That's not 4, that's not 6. And maybe we can't go further than that. There's an 8 in one of these. Where does 9 go in this box? Only in one place. must have done all the 9s now. Ah, if I put 9 in the middle, maybe I have. There's all the 9s done. That's good. 4, 7 and 8 into those cells. Let's pencil mark that up and see if we can get rid of anything helpful. Not quite, I don't think. 8 now in the middle box has formed a pair with 6, look. So we've got a 5, 7 pair in the middle. And that means this square has to be a 4. Which means we get to grey it. Which, I've just noticed that can't be a 4 either. So, I see, we've got 6, 7, 8 triple in row 6. But this 6, 8 pair knocks 6 out of here. So let's take a look, a closer look maybe at this column. We need 2s, 4s and 7s. So that's just 4 or 7. But that has all the options, 2, 4 or 7. Ah, but there's a 4, 7 pair in row 2, which means that's a 5. And that's a 3, and that's a 7, and now that's going to unwind over here with 7, 4, 7, 6, 7, 6, 8. That should be a something, a 4, I think. That should be an 8. Okay, that feels like a breakthrough, doesn't it? That's now a 2 by Sudoku. That's a 7, that's a 4, that's an 8, that's a 2, that's a 7, that's a 5. And we need 3 and something up here, 3 and 6, that's done. And I know I've got to figure out the colouring, I'll do that in just a second. 5 and 8, so that's 8, that's 5. And let's do the colouring, make sure that that looks pretty. We need that to be blue. I don't think we ever coloured 5s, did we? So 1s should all be coloured. 2s are nearly all coloured. 3s deserve to all be coloured. So let's greenify those. And I suppose 8s, I'll award them a colour as well. And I think that is how to solve a very, very pretty puzzle indeed. Cross Total by Wuschel. That is lovely. I really enjoyed that. Nothing brutally hard. It was exactly what was promised. Probably was 2 stars out of 5 difficulty, but it wasn't simple, and it involved a lot of very cute ideas. I love the fact you got this 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in the middle, and that allowed us to sort of recolour all those early colours we put in. And then it was just a case of working out that 9 down here seemed important because it disambiguated this arrow. Yeah, loved it. Absolutely loved it. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I do enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.